Hello, welcome to my podcast. So, today we're going to be talking about a nice book I've been reading. Well, it's more like a manga, and for further explanation, a manga is sort of like a comic book, except it's a Japanese comic book. And ever since I was little, I loved reading those kind of books. I have a huge collection, actually, which I will get into later, but as of the moment, I've been reading my favorite book, and I've also watched the series, so I know plenty of it. But each time I go back and read a new book of that series, I just get so intrigued. I get so happy. But now, what I'd like to get into is that the book I'm reading it's called Dragon Ball Z. Now, there's many books to this one, and I've read them all, but we're specifically going to be talking about Volume 1, which is the beginning of everything. Now, just to let the audience know, well, all of you to know, is that, you see, there was a series before Dragon Ball Z, which is to be Dragon Ball, which is when a little Saiyan, who is on a little pod from his planet called Planet Vegeta, he was dropped down onto a random planet. And out of coincidence, that planet was Earth. Now, the main character, Son Goku, got dropped onto planet Earth and was found by an old man who was just scavenging food and trying to build a shelter for himself. So he finds a lost baby boy in a pod. He checks it out, and he takes the baby to become one of his own. And so from there on, he raises it. Now, one day, the baby just became overly, how do you say the word? Not overly, but he would just cry too much. Let's just put it that way. He'd cry way too much, and obviously, the old man would not take it. Now, the old man's name was Gohan, and yeah, at least you guys know the name now. So, his name was Gohan, and one day he was walking with his I guess you could call him his grandson or son, and Goku fell off his shoulder, fell into a deep pit, bumped his head on some boulders, and from there on, he wasn't crying, he wasn't whining about anything more. He was a cheerful, joyful little boy. And when his grandfather passed away, pretty much he changed and he dedicated himself to protect the earth from anything and his friends and loved ones. So from there on, he promised to protect the earth, and practically that's mainly what recaps on Volume 1 of him promising. Now, towards the end of Volume 1, Goku is now older, he's married, he has a son, and he named the son after the person who took care of him. You could say he's his grandfather, his father, however you like it. He named his son Gohan. And when he went to go see his friends from a reunion, some Saiyan from the planet that I was talking about, Planet Vegeta, comes down to Earth and threatens Goku to join him in an alliance to take over the galaxy. Now, Goku, as the warrior that he is, rejects that offer, and instead of joining the offer, tells him to leave the planet immediately. Obviously, the bad guy by the name of Raditz would not leave. He punched Goku in the stomach, knocking him out, and took his son. Now, this is now towards the end of the chapter, or sorry, volume. And Goku awakes to find out his son is missing, and a friend of his knows exactly where they went. So off they go find his son, and pretty much from there on, the chapter ends. Not the chapter, but the book ends. Now you go on to Volume 2, and so on. They do eventually find him, but I can't spoil that. I'd love for you to go check out the book for yourself. I recommend it, and after you're done reading the manga, you should go definitely check out the series. The series is an amazing series that I loved and enjoyed ever since I was a little kid. And many people, in my case, would love Dragon Ball Z, especially at the rate it is right now. It's still up and running, not by the name of Dragon Ball Z, but known as Dragon Ball Super. It's currently airing in Japan and also in the US. I highly recommend it. It's a good show, and it's a good series. You get very intrigued, and I've definitely been a huge fan ever since. So, like I say, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Next time on the episode of Dragon Ball Z. Also, I would like to say that the book set an example of never giving up. No matter how hard you fall, no matter how strong the opponent may be, never give up. That's the theme of the book. Goku never gave up on his battles, even as he fought his way through to protect the universe, and protect the Earth instead of the universe. And no matter how hard the opponent is, he will always train hard to be the best, and always strive to achieve your greatest potential. That's what the book's motto is, and not just this book, but the whole series in general. What Goku provides to the viewer is something extraordinary.